OGLEE in the house. Once again. Thank goodness. I saw that North Carolina, the University of North Carolina, hired its first black coach, HUBERT Davis. HUBERT Davis is the next head coach at the University of North Carolina. They hired a brother that used to play for the college, the university, and he went on to become a 12-season NBA star. And so he bowled well for the university. So the university hired him, HUBERT Davis. And so he's having his press conference. And he had to bring up the fact that his wife is white. And some people lost their mind about that. They asked, why did he just randomly bring up the fact that his wife was white? It's not random. They said, why did he randomly? That's not a random point, the fact that his wife is white. Not in this situation. People are accentuating the fact that he is the first black, the first to be the head coach after all these years of all these white people. So he's the first black head coach. And people don't think that it's necessary for him to, in other words, what his PR people told him, they said, leave shit out of the way right off the top. Don't make it the first thing you say, but make sure you bring this shit up. A lot of black people, even though we may not admit it, oh, he's the first black head coach. And I mean, they're boasting about that, making that an issue. But yet, his wife is white. There are plenty of people who are over that. But there are still some who are going to be like, hey, it's nothing about being black. If you want to turn around and have a white wife, some people will never understand that. Kamala Harris, she's the first black, she's calling herself black, and we're accepting her. She's the first black vice president of the United States of America. She has a Jewish husband. I watch the news sometimes, and I don't remember hearing that much about that being an issue. He knew he had to bring up the point that I've got a white wife. And then I figured brother had some kids, so of course he dropped it on, hey, I got half and half, basically. That's the American way down there now for people who accept that. So HUBERT, first of all, when the brother name was HUBERT, I wasn't mad at him for marrying a white girl. I mean, I ain't never met a nigga named Hubert. I haven't. Now, maybe you had Hubert. So his wife probably even tricked her family. You know how the white people, they let them know everything about you before you even come to the house. So they was asking her his name. And she said, Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis doesn't give off any kind of racial or anything, right? Hubert Davis. After they heard the name, they didn't even ask him, is he black? They just assumed. When he got to the door, they was like, oh, shit. When her father put two and two together, he said, oh, the Hubert Davis. Oh, North Carolina, blah, 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 blah. Oh. See, when you black and you got some fame about you, do some millions of shit, white folks, you know, they don't care at that point what your color is. None whatsoever. In this case, Hubert had to bring that out. It's not a random thing. He had to bring that up to say, hey, let's get this shit out of the way. I'm the first black coach with a white wife. And it is what it is. And then soon as the sisters found out that she was white, the first thing they wanted to know is what she looked like. Am I right? Once they saw what she looked like, kind of said she's kind of like a plain Jane, with all due respect, kind of like a plain kind of woman, you know, somebody that he fell in love with, someone he didn't want no drama from. Now, if she would have looked like one of the Kardashians with all the makeup to the nines and the big booty and everything, like a threat to them, then they would have been like, oh, shit, yeah. They would have been mad at her. I just had to comment on that because I thought, why would they say that this is a random thing for him to bring up. Oh no, somebody's going to drag him, if they haven't already, obviously, drag him over the coals about trying to get this designation as the first black, but you got a white wife. Somebody's going to say something about that. We know that, right? So Hubert, he had to get all of the people who are going to call him a sellout. He had to get all of them straight from the jump. I'm going to be the first black coach of North Carolina. And guess who's riding shotgun with me? My white wife. Anyway, this is OGLEE, and I'll see you